Hey guys, what's up? I'm Shane3X, welcome to My Gamers, and today we're going to be doing Project Nova on Veteran. Now, I've actually had this recorded previously, so it would have been already uploaded, but for some reason the voice recording has done a runner, so I've had to re-record this. So if I say things in this video that contradict what the other videos say, I do apologise for that. I can't really help that. So this is going to be a 3-part video. But I'm just trying to remember what's in this video. I don't think there's anything too difficult or of significance to actually mention, but I'll go through it anyway just to make sure all the bases is covered. So the bolt gun you start off with, it's pretty good, but one of your teammates will have a scoped version. You can kill him for it. As long as you don't go killing all your teammates, you shouldn't get the team killing thing that makes a restart. And also, the first gun I think is horrible. It's the PPSH, I think that's called. Anyway, get rid of that. Look for an STG. There should be one coming up shortly. I'd definitely recommend grabbing that. Okay, so like in many previous videos, just as long as you don't rush things, you know what's going to happen, and you take things nice and slow and use cover, you should be pretty alright for this mission. I don't recall any super hard bits that required my specialist expertise, but like I said, I will just go through the video anyway just to make sure. So I have been trying to get zombie achievements and things like that, and there are 2 more that are going to be probably pretty difficult to get, but if I figure out a super awesome way to get them, we'll let you know. Okay, so just keep moving forward. Now I like to take the hill just to your left here, as it gives you good cover against the enemies down below the hill, which you'll see in a minute or so. Here's the STG I was talking about. Come on, there we go. Okay, so just going up the hill now, and this does give you good cover and a good view of all the enemies just below. Also, this is the point where one of the teammates has a scoped gun you can steal off him, so I pretty much would recommend this point getting it, because I don't recall many other points where you do see teammates with it. I'm pretty sure there's one towards the end, but by then it's sort of useless, because when you get to a certain part in this mission you lose all your weapons and you start off again, so you do sort of want to get these weapons that I'm suggesting as early as possible. Okay, so just more of the same really, using cover. Now, I don't recall any specific points where there were infinite enemy spawns, but you don't want to be taking all day with this. You do want to, keep up the pace. It's probably the best idea for most missions. But some missions, it's okay if you can go really slow. Others aren't so forgiving. But this one's not one of those missions, so you can take your time. If you're really struggling, just take your time. It's not infinite spawning day, so you don't have to worry about that. There are a couple of missions where you do have to worry about that, but we'll get to those eventually. And I usually do have suggestions for passing those, because so far any mission that has had a infinite spawning enemy point, I've obviously done it because I've already done the videos for them, so it shouldn't be too hard. There's the key thing with infinite spawning enemies is there's a certain flow with it, and as you continue to battle your way through, you'll realise when their weakest point is, where they'll only have a few enemies, and you can try and rush through then before more reinforcements come. So that's a couple of things to consider. So enough talking about things that aren't really related to this mission. Still using cover, still just slowly going my way forward. Feel free to use grenades at any point. I don't actually have any specific suggestions as to when you should actually use those, so that's fine by me. Just use them whenever you need to. There's also plenty of ammo, so you should be able to sustain fights. But eventually what you want to do is you want to move forward along the left hand side, because if you've played Veteran at all, you'll know that even one enemy can kill you really quickly. So you do want to make sure you get to a checkpoint before you actually risk it, because you know how fun it is starting again, don't you guys? Yep, sure is fun. mean, I remember back in, you know, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, plenty of moments where, you know, you die 50 times at the same point and then you just give up, you come back to it later and you eventually do it. But Black Ops, I think I mentioned this in a previous video or two, but Black Ops campaign isn't as hard as compared to the previous games. Sure, it's still pretty difficult for a lot of people, and you know, even me, it's really hard to not die at least once in these missions. But you know, it's definitely not as difficult as some of the previous games. So still continuing, you know, using cover, slowly moving forward. As you can see, why the scoped rifle may be a good idea. You know, I can still aim perfectly fine with the iron sights. It's just helps me out a little bit, especially when you can't quite see the enemy. Now, as we approach this building, the windows on the second floor can't actually be destroyed, but you can still shoot enemies through them. So if you do see enemies on the second level, do try to kill them, as it will help you when you actually go up that building yourself. One of these allies is Dimitri. You can't actually kill him, but the rest are fair game, so if you want their gun or you're out of ammo, which you shouldn't be, you can just kill them, but I wouldn't do it too often. Like I've said, you will probably get the you killed a teammate thing and it'll make a restart to a certain point. Okay, on the second floor there'll be like 1 or 2 enemies, and then as you move forward, once you get to the door, an enemy will appear from the back, and there'll be an enemy like right next to the door waiting to melee you, so just take a note of that. You'll get to see that happen in a second. So it's just, that wasn't the melee guy, that was just some random. And I definitely would recommend the machine gun or an assault rifle for this particular section. The top floor you can do whatever you want, but the bottom floor most likely better with a machine gun, because like again, I've mentioned this probably in another video, but the enemies in Black Ops are a lot harder to kill than in previous games. They take a couple more bullets, and they also, you know, dodge and use the cover a bit better, so those things are to be considered. But even with those things, it doesn't make the game harder overall. It just makes certain points a little bit annoying. I mean, if you had to kill these enemies in Modern Warfare 2 or COD 4, oh my god, you'd be screwed as hell. But I've never actually done Modern Warfare 2 campaign guides before. I only did Spec Ops. But there isn't a Spec Ops for Black Ops, so until they actually, you know, introduce the patches, make sure everything's running smooth for everyone, there's no lag, things like that, then I'll be able to do lots of multiplayer stuff. But at the meantime, multiplayer for me is really terrible, so I don't really bother with it too much. I'm pretty sure I've got like a negative kill streak. So I'll be doing campaign guides, zombie guides, and then hopefully eventually MP guides. You know, I've definitely got a couple of good sort of unique videos, such as the window trick, if you remember from Modern Warfare 2. Okay, back to the actual mission now. On the far wall there's a machine gun, and there's 2 guys with the Panzer cracks. Oh, I don't know how to say it, I'm just going to say bazooka because it's a bit easier for me. You definitely want to take those guys out, and then once they're dead, just move forward. Now at this point you'll have smoke grenades. What you want to do is you want to throw a smoke grenade over towards the machine gun, and then that will blow up the wall. Definitely makes things a lot easier as you move forward. So there's the smoke grenade. Oh, and actually be careful of the fire, guys. The fire can hurt you. I've tried to use, you know, certain points as cover and only to die because of the fire. Now your main problem at this point will be the couple of enemies to the left. In this building right here, an enemy can shoot you through the window to the right, so you do want to make sure you kill him before you actually start moving forward, because obviously you'll die. Okay, let me just check the video. Okay, so yeah, once the enemies stop appearing, you can move forward. There are 2 enemies as soon as you walk through that door, just up ahead, so machine gun would be advisable. You could throw a grenade, but they're protected by a table, so it's probably better just to shoot them yourself. You can use lean or whatever you want, just, you know. So that is pretty much it for this part of the guide. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you do enjoy it. Hope it helps. Feel free to leave comments and I'll help you out the best I can, or you can just discuss whatever you want to discuss, you know, regarding the mission. And hopefully I'll see you for parts 2 and 3. So, yeah.